Hello, 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 everybody. All right, this is all right. Oh, good, good. More people. All right, all right. Okay. It is good to see everybody. I'm glad everybody. It looks like more people. Okay, I'll wait. I mean, I won't wait actually. Okay, okay. Whoop, sorry. Um, more people. Hang on. More people. Oh, there's a big class. People like this time more than 1050. I always thought people like 1050 more than 10. Okay, anyway, or I guess maybe what did you all just have? Organic chemistry? All right, anyway, okay. I will it's great to see you all, sort of. It's great to see all of your black boxes. Um, oh, still more people. Okay. Um, let me start by saying if let's just make sure of a couple of things. Can you if you can hear me and see me, could you raise an electronic hand or somehow indicate or even say hello or something or put something in the chat? Great. Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you, Emmanuel. All right. And this is how I'm going to start to get to know you people. Oh, wow. Okay. Great, great, great. All right. Awesome. I'm going to start to try to get to know the names and the people, you people, but great. And there's something in the chat. So I'm going to go, thank you, Jonathan. And tell me if I'm mispronouncing your name. Thank you for the hi, professor. Do you know that all of you just raised your hands and and Jonathan, you all just got points, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. You actually just got points for doing that. Um, we'll talk about that. But great, but this is also a way I'm going to get to know your names. And so all right, awesome. Freddie just got points for doing that. Um, and tell me if I'm mispronouncing, but good. Also, I'm going to start by saying, I mean, there's obviously hello, hello. And I'm glad that you all got my emails and the things and the Zoom link. Like, obviously, if you're here, that means something went right already. And many of you joined the Google Classroom, which is great. We'll talk about that in a minute. Brian, hello, awesome. All right, I'm actually going to do it this way. So, Brandon, hello. Tell me if I just pronounced your name. I mean, tell me if I mispronouncing. Ariana, hello, thank you, awesome. Brian, hello, thank you, awesome. I think Joran, tell me if it's wrong. Hello, awesome. Or Joran, wait, maybe tell me if I'm awesome. Samantha, thank you. Hello. I said it right the first time. Now I already don't remember the first time. Wait, Duran. Okay, Duran. Awesome, awesome. And it may take me and so Nam, awesome. Hello, hello. And a direct message. We'll talk about that too. So I'm not going to say the name of the person who just direct chatted me, but thank you, direct chatper. You. I see you in more ways than one. Um, and hello. Okay, awesome. Who else do I not? Gabrielle. Okay, awesome. Awesome. Oh, Kaya. Okay, I'm not saying that right. I apologize. Tell me, Kaya. Kaya?
Yes.
Yes. Oh, and she just used her voice. Thank you. That's guts. I'm not kidding. She just got points for using her voice also. Or also, if I say anybody's pronoun wrong, please tell me that too. I apologize. But yes, that was points also. So look, we got a lot to do. Many of you, so welcome to the semester. Welcome back. Physics can be scary to some people. It doesn't need to be. I can be a lot. I am a lot. Hopefully, I'm not scary. We'll see. But sometimes when people ask for a cool, small glass of water, what I give them instead is a fire hose. I apologize. We have a lot to do today. We have a lot to do in the semester. For many of you, hopefully, Quark willing, we have a lot to do for 2 semesters, right? A lot of you will be taking Physics 203 and 204. Like most of you are required to do that. Hopefully, most of you, like I'll see a lot of you again in 204. So, most of what I'm going to do today is try to keep you awake, honestly. Like that's already a goal in a Zoom class, right? I'm going to try to keep you with me and caring. I'm going to try to set the tone and the expectations and show you what this class will feel like for the semester. We're not going to do a ton of physics today. We're going to try to set forth like how things work in this class today. And even that, we're not going to get to all of it. But first of all, there's stuff in the chat. Great, great, great. I love the chat. Wait a minute. Hold on. Terrific. Okay. I think that person's already. Wait, is that person already? Okay. I'm responding to the person who's already gone. Okay. Um, So to, oh, and excuse me. If you've already put your hand up and I've already like said hello to you in some kind of way, you can put your hand down. Thank you very much. By the end of the class, hopefully everybody will have said hello in some kind of a way, some kind, and I will have acknowledged everybody in some kind of a way, some kind. Hopefully, I will start to learn how to pronounce people's names today, some kind. Because if we get great, you're going to see the way I talk is like I will get to where back up already. Wait, more people joining. See what I mean? I talk like this, but we have a curriculum, we have a syllabus, we have places we need to get to, and we will get there. There like every semester of physics material has a beginning, a middle, and an end. We will get to the beginning, the middle, and the end. We will get to all the material that you need to get to. You will have homework, you will have exams, you will get a grade, all that stuff, of course. But in the meantime, every Zoom day, the way I proceed will be a little bit like not in a straight line. That will be good for some of you and it'll be annoying for some of you. I'm here to say before we get going today, I don't talk in a straight line. Partly why I don't talk in a straight line is like I want this to be a group experience. And I mean it. I know everybody says that, and some of us mean it. Like, so for example, I have things to do. You'll see. We have things to do, and we have homework to assign and grades to get and all of that. I have places that are prepared for me to get you. But for example, if at any moment someone puts something in the chat, I'm going to hope that I see it right away. And if I don't see it right away, I hope someone's going to say, Professor, there's things in the chat. And I'm going to hopefully stop and deal with whatever's in the chat. Like the more that can be coming from you guys, the better the class will work. Even if at any given moment, one of you thinks that I'm going off on a little tangent because somebody else just asked a question that you think is not like the point. I'm here to tell you in advance, if someone asks a question, it is the point. Like we will get to everything that we need to get to. If our biggest goal in this class is to prepare us for Physics 204, believe me, we'll do that because I'm the Physics 204 guy and I need you to be prepared when you come to me. So trust me that we're going to get to where we need to get to. But we will do it by stopping as much as reasonable to handle whatever it is that you guys are asking or saying or needing along the way. If nothing else, it makes the Zoom experience less terrible for you if it's not just being me talking the whole time. You're going to see what I mean in a minute. But I'm starting off by apologizing already to say, don't expect a straight line, please. Allow us to be a little windy. So I'm always going to have the chat up and watch the chat. And if things are happening in the chat, I will like try to deal with them. And every time one of you puts something in the chat, you're going to get points. You're going to see, I'm going to explain. The main thing I'm probably going to explain today is how many different ways there are to get points on your grade for participating in this Zoom class. We've been doing it this way in physics since the minute COVID started. We are big believers that Zoom classes really still can be classes. They can even have some advantages that regular classes like don't have. So most of today, actually, I'm going to be talking to you about how you're going to participate in this class in all your different ways that you're comfortable doing so, and how you'll get points for that. So let me just put the chat back. I just lost the chat for a second. Oh, here. Oh, I see why. Hold on one second. I just want to make sure the chat is there. Okay. The chat is there. Okay. One thing, if you ever put anything in the direct chat, I'm a big believer in the direct chat. It's like the one thing we could never do in a regular class. So in the direct chat, I will pay attention to it. If you put things in it, I will honor them. If I can, I'll just respond right away, directly to you. And I will never, ever, if you put something in the direct chat, I will never like read your name. I will never say that to the rest of the group. Like that, I will respect the fact that it's the direct chat and I'll appreciate it. But if you put something in that like could help the rest of the group, like you put something in like, I totally missed what you just said, or wait, I don't know what equation four is. Like, and I understand you don't want to like out yourself to the whole group that you don't know what equation four is. But I'm thinking as a professor, probably you're not the only one. Like you're probably much more embarrassed than you need to be. And thank gosh you asked for equation four because I bet a lot of other people miss it. So I might respond to the content. If you put in the direct chat, professor, I hate to admit it, but I don't know what equation four is anymore or something. Um, I might say to the whole group, oh, there's a question about equation four. Here's what equation four is, but I just won't say your name. Okay, so please understand, sometimes I will make the judgment that what's in direct chat is actually much more helpful to everybody than you might think. I might even praise it. I might be like, this is a great question. I wish more people had the guts to ask this kind of question, but I just won't say your name. Okay, that's what, if you put something in the direct chat, that's the difference. I won't say your name. That's number one. Number two, hold on. Number two, I was just about to say something else about the chat. Sorry. I believe me, we will move on to the material in a second. Direct chat questions. Yeah, all right. I just forgot. But number two, you're gonna see. Oh, yeah. I remember now. Okay. You're as I start talking today and explain, I'm going to start walking you through the Google class. Like the main point of today is I'm going to sort of walk you through the Google Classroom um, screen and show you how the class works that way. Because I'm glad I see that most will, and we'll deal with that in a second. Um, if you got, well, okay, let's pause for a minute. Let's pause for a minute. 1, 2, 3, 19. Oh, so all of you are here. That's great. Thank you. Hold on. This is my way. Well, I'm doing attendance. No, I'm not. I'm doing attendance to make sure we have that everybody's whatever. I'm doing attendance. Hold on a second. So this is a big class. Yes. So we have 21 people. Okay. Okay. So the first thing I'm checking is we have 21 people in this class. Um, I believe 19 of you are here right now. But the first thing is, can you cross-referencing? Well, okay. What I'm going to do right now is if I say your name right now, that means I have you in the Google Classroom. From here on in, for good or for bad, Brightspace is a link, is where you find the link to the Google Classroom. Everything from here on in physics, in this class and in Physics 204, everything we still do through Google Classroom. And I apologize in advance. I know it's like a little annoying to not have I know it's very annoying to not have everything in John Jay all in one place, but we have found over time the Google Classroom is so much better for students in physics that students seem to appreciate it so much more. It's so much easier to use and use on your phone and everything with notifications and all that, that we've found that the little extra pain of going to a different platform for physics, it seems like it's still better, that students still like it better. So everything from here on, and I know someone just joined. Hold on, I'm trying to get, two people. Sorry. So everything from now on, it's all Google Classroom, including your grades, exams, homework, all communication is through Google Classroom. So the first thing I want to check is the first. Oh, okay. I'm just looking at the chat. Okay. So I want to check right now. If I say your name, If I say your name, that means I have you in the Google Classroom, and that's great and good. And that means we're already like step one achieved. If I don't say your name, please, like if I don't say your name by the end, like please put a note in the chat or something, or ask for help, or let me know, because you need to join the Google Classroom. In other words, that link that obviously you're here, so you got the link for this Zoom meeting, however you got it. Look in that email again or that announcement again and join the Google Classroom if you don't hear your name like right now. Okay. So and please tell me in the chat or with your voice, if I say your name wrong. Half the thing I'm going to explain today again is how you get points for using your voice or using the chat or showing video or all these kind of things. None of which is mandatory, but all of which get you points that will help your grade. Okay, so I have Ariana, I have Sam, I have Erica, I have Kaya, I have Skylar, I have Yaneli. And again, please tell me if I'm mispronouncing your name. I have Gabriella, I have Sydney, I have Karen. I should be saying last names, I suppose, but I have Matthew, I have Genesis, I have Roger, I have Jonathan Rivera, I have Joran, I have Brandon, I have Emanuela. Is there anybody that I didn't say your name or I said your name wrong? Like, wait, and I'm not trying to call you out. Well, I don't want to call you out. I'm looking and I think there's a couple people whose names I did not say. So please, if you don't know what I'm talking about, hang out after class for a minute. Like if you have not joined Google Classroom or you literally don't know what I'm talking about, I need you to join the Google Classroom. Well, it'll come up again in the middle of this class. But if I did say your name, good, we're rolling. Let me also take this opportunity to say, I'm really serious that we're all going to be a class. I want to get to know you. Hopefully, I'm going to get to know you for 2 semesters, many of you. Hopefully, I'm going to write you recommendations to graduate school or to jobs or to summer programs. Like the goal is to get to know you and for it not to matter that this is Zoom. It's a real synchronous class. So please understand that part of that means if I ever mention your name directly, I promise you in advance, if I mention your name directly or start talking about one of you as an individual, it's meant as positive, not negative. Like I will never call on someone to surprise them to see if they're paying attention or something like that. And I will never call out on someone for doing something wrong or share someone's wrong. But if I do mention you, it's not to embarrass you. It's to use you as an example of something right in the class. Like, so I'm going to do it right now. So please forgive me, but it's meant as, so for example, right now, like nobody's showing video. Okay. Nobody's showing video. That's okay. I know the thousands of reasons that people don't like showing video. It's not a requirement of this class. However, it is rewarded whenever you do show video. You'll see in a minute if any of you shows video for even 5 minutes today, so I could at least start to know your face and recognize you, like, if you come in for office hours or something like that, like that's only helpful. So any of you who shows video today, even for 5 minutes, is going to get points for that. And if you show video again for 5 minutes tomorrow, next class, you'll get more points for that. Oh, thank you, Emmanuel. She got my hint dropped. Okay, thank you. So now I'm going to talk about Emanuela for a second, and it's to praise her, not to say. Okay, first of all, am I saying your name right? Am I saying it right? Yeah. Okay.
Yes, you are.
Thank you. Awesome. Also, she just used her voice. Now I want you to know, okay, she just got an opportunity to get like points for video, points for using her voice. That's 2 different like set of points right there. And again, I'm saying, and that's great. And I'll show you how she'll get those points. But now a couple of things. Number 1, like why wouldn't everybody else? And other people, and say Genesis also great, awesome. Same thing with Genesis. Okay, and I'm assuming I'm saying your name right. I think. Am I?
Yeah, you're saying it right.
Great. All right. So she just got points too. I mean, she hasn't gotten the points yet, but she's going to have them by the end of this class, and you'll see. Okay. But also now, let's talk about this for a minute. I'm taking a risk here, right? But like, we're trying to be human beings. We're trying to be a community. Physics can be scary. Physics can seem to some people like it's not a very human endeavor. Like, no, I'm a human being. I love physics. Okay. It makes me a happier human being. It is a human endeavor. It can be a human endeavor. Um, so so the more humans we have in this class, like the better for all of us. Now here's a couple of reasons that it took guts for Emanuela and for Genesis to show video. Reason number one that it took guts. Well, there's like a million obvious reasons we all know, but one reason we don't talk about is of why it took guts is because what they might be thinking, if they're anything like me, like here's why I don't show video sometimes in a faculty meeting when we all sit around and complain how students don't show video and then we don't show video. Why I don't sometimes is because I'm afraid if everybody else is not showing video and I show video for 5 minutes, then when I turn mine off, then it's super noticeable, right? Then I've sent a signal, I think, like now I've sent a signal that I'm going off to like God knows what, or to not pay attention or blah, blah, blah. So I'm thinking unconsciously, if I just don't show any video at all, it's much better because then I don't draw attention to when I turn it off. I'm here to tell you no. I get that way of thinking. I get it. But I'm here to tell you, Emanuela just made herself vulnerable, made herself a human being to me. That's only helpful. And absolutely 100% same thing with Genesis. That now I know who they are. Now I can say hello to them in the halls. Now I feel like they're with me. If they turn off video right now, I will not be insulted at all. I will not think they're going to sell crack on the streets. I will just think, thank God. I will think the same thing that I'm going to think about Drawn, which is, oh, good, a person for 5 minutes is better than a person for no minutes. Now, and this is not to shame any of the rest of you. I'm dead serious. It's fine that the rest of you are not doing it right now. I'm just saying it's extra fine that they just did it. And if they, hello, Gabrielle, see, it's working. I love it. All right. It's awesome. No, so now I know who you all are. Let me also tell you that if you want to visit me, I mean, how some of you are, and again, oh, there's Sydney. See that? Thank you. Doesn't this feel better? Don't we just feel, I'm serious. Like, do you know how afraid I was of physics until I wasn't? Like, and I'm not saying you guys are afraid of physics. And if those of you in the room who already like physics, Quark, bless you. We're going to hopefully have you like it even more when we're done. Let me tell you all something. I've been teaching physics for over 30 years, the same crap 3 times a day, 5 times a week for 30 years. And let me tell you something, it only gets more exciting to me. You could tell I can't fake this kind of excitement, okay? I know it's a lot, but it only gets more and more exciting to me. So those of you who think you already like physics, I'm here to help you love it even more and get better at it. Those of you who think I hate physics or I was scarred by physics in my high school because I blah, 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 or I have no interest in physics, I'm here to say, no, no, no. This is trauma healing group therapy for those of us who were traumatized in high school. I get it. I had a high school teacher too who like almost like turned me off to a totally from the path forever. I get it. So if you don't like physics, I'm here to ask you, let's all give each other a second chance, especially if you're one of those people who sort of says they don't like physics, but is secretly saying, I suck at physics. No, 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 no. Redo, redo, redo. We're here for a redo, and it helps to be human beings redoing it. Okay. So those of you who are showing video, totally appreciate it. Now, if you come to my office hours any on a Tuesday, so I'm all over the place. You see, it's being nonlinear, but we're going to get to every point. Those of you who are showing video are going to show you how you're going to get the points for that. Those of you who are not, don't be ashamed. Don't worry. Those of you who ever want to visit me physically as a human being, it's Tuesdays, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on the 4th floor of the new building. My room is so easy to find that it's impossible to find because it's in the main hallway, like not off in the lab hallways in the back. So I would encourage you, if you're going to visit me, shoot me an email or a text in advance, just so I know you're coming and I can tell you how to get there the first time. And so speaking of human beings, like, yes, the email to use is the one on top here. I know I have a separate email also for all this Google Classroom stuff, but that's what that's for. If you want to directly email me, it's the one on the top here on the board. I'm pretty good about email actually these days. I mean, I probably would get back to you within the day, but if you want to text, I'm all about it. Here's the deal with texting. The first time you text me, say who you are, please. The first time you text me, then I'll have it in the phone, blah, blah, blah. But second of all, how do you know when to text versus email? Well, first of all, if it's anything dicey and you want a record, you should email. Like if emails, we keep records and whatever. But the main reason to text is if suddenly you have a stressful situation. If you have a situation where by writing a text that takes you longer to write than for me to respond to, if you can write a text that I can respond to quickly, like a multiple like a yes or no question, or like, is the exam tomorrow, professor? Like, or oh my God, can I hand in this homework? Like, can I please have a 1 day extension on this homework, professor? Something like that. Something where with a simple yes or no, or a simple I'll meet you at 4 o'clock PM. With a simple answer, I can lower your heart rate by a bunch by getting back to you in 5 minutes with a simple, then text me. I'm pretty fast with text unless I'm literally teaching or something. Okay. So you can text me or to say, are you going to be in your office in 10 minutes, at 11 today? Like text me. You get my point. And that's partly compensation for the fact that I am sort of hard to find. So anyway, so there's my texting information. I'm all about it. I mean, I even believe in Bitmojis, whatever. There's my email information. There's where I live physically on the fourth floor. Um, 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 where was I going with? So it's about human beings. So the people that are showing video, I'm totally psyched. Again, they're going to get points. If they turn off their video at any moment, I won't notice. Also, see how weird I am with eye contact? I will try to make serious eye contact with you when you're talking and I'm listening to you. But when I'm talking, I'm up in the ether somewhere, as you can see. So if you right now turned off your video, I'm not going to notice it anyway. Don't like so it's great that people already did. It will, and by the way, and you'll see in a minute too, it might even be great if you're showing video at all, even for 2 minutes, take a quick screenshot of the fact that you are, you'll see why. But I mean, if you don't remember to, that's fine too. Um, so I'm going to show you right now. Wait, I'm going to pause for a second. Pause for 1 second. Raise your hand. I mean, because I know this is like, boop, 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 boop. So just raise your electronic hand if you're still with me. Like if I haven't totally lost you or chased you out of the room. Yeah, okay, cool. Awesome, awesome. Great. Great. That's a lot. Okay, that's almost every. Okay. Oh, that's like every. Oh, are we actually going to do? Wow. Awesome. You guys might be, you almost, wait, I'm going to pause because I think if we can get 100% here, I'm going to open up. Oh, I think we almost have 100%. Was that 100%? That's awesome. I might even open up a portal for that. You'll see what I mean, a points portal that you could put them down now, but that might be the first time that's ever happened on a first day. I will say too, like you're going to see the whole participation thing is like a game. I'm going to show you, except that it matters. I'm going to show you in a minute what I mean by this game, or you might have already noticed in the Google Classroom, but I'll even tell you there was one section of this class, a couple of maybe 2 semesters ago, where they, in the background, I think with like, they had a Discord server or a WhatsApp or something, which I totally encourage you doing. And they arranged it so that on the last day of class, they literally, at some spontaneous moment while I was talking on the last day of their semester, they all showed video simultaneously. I don't know how they literally 100%ed the video thing. And it blew my mind so much that they all got like an extra, like, I don't remember, like 30 points, all of them, just because they had arranged it as a group. So I'll do things like that. Like I'll play with you if you play with me. And it mattered in their grades. Speaking of grades, again, I'm going to get concrete just so you see that I'm not totally unhinged. I am kind of unhinged, but just so you see that I'm going to switch the screen so we can start talking about this Google Classroom so we can get organized. So I'm switching the screen share. Hang on 1 sec. But I will tell you, since we're going to start now talking about grades and participation and how this system works and whatnot, I'm going to tell you that you can all get A's if you all actually want to. Meaning, what I mean by that is that wait, question. Or Brian, do you have a question? I'm sorry. Fire away if you have a question. Or is your hand just still up from before? Oh no, it's still up. Okay. But really, once you get more comfortable with me and with each other, you can interrupt at any time. It's better when I'll tell if the interruption's totally outrageous. Like, look, I mean, if someone raises their hand and then says like, where's your mother's mailbox so I can put anthrax in it? Okay, like that's not, and I shouldn't even joke about that, but like we obviously there's limits, but like no, if someone raises their hand, it's like, wait, I just missed what you said 5 minutes ago. Not only will I stop for that, but they'll get points for that. The more this can actually be driven by you, the better. You can trust, again, I'm going to say this, two things. I've been doing this for more than 30 years. You can trust me that we're going to get to what we have to get to. Please do. You can trust, but the more we do it through you, not through me, the more pleasant and educational it will be. Okay, so never worry, oh, the class is slowing down the class. No, the class is the class. And also look at the way I talk. Don't you think it needs to be like a little bit like rhythmically varied here a little bit, right? But number two, in terms of grades, you can all get an A. I'm not saying you're all going to get an A. And some of you honestly will not pass. And I don't mean that in a scary way, but I mean, I don't grade on a bell curve. I don't have a limit to how many A's there are. This is a very important piece of the class to know. I don't have a limit to how many A's there can be. There have been semesters where almost, not a lot, but there have been semesters where like the vast majority of people got A's. It doesn't happen a lot, but it certainly can happen. And in fact, I want it to happen. Why I'm saying that right now, as I explain the grading system to you, for both this class and for Physics 204 is right from the get-go, I want you to know you're not in a competition with one another and you're not in a competition with me. The reason I'm going to sit here and praise like Gabriella and Emanuela and Genesis and Duran for showing video, the reason I'm going to praise them is because I want to set a clear tone. And I'm just praising them for setting an example for good things to do in this class. I'm not saying that they're ahead of the other people or that the others of you have already blown your chance to get the grade that they've already grabbed. No. Like at anything, I'm saying right now, they would be the people to turn to get help to the tricks to how to do better in the class. If they can, and I'm not saying like obviously we haven't done a lick of physics. So I'm just making an exaggerated example. But the point in this class is for you to help each other get A's. And one A that goes to one person does not lower the chance of an A going to another person. It actually increases the chance. So if in the background you guys can set up a Discord server or a WhatsApp or whatever, something that doesn't involve me so that you can all, that makes me happy, not sad. And every time one of you gets praised or like showcased, please understand it's just so we're making like trying to make reality more concrete and show everybody the way to get an A. If everybody does everything that they're asked to do in this class and like tries as hard as possible, hopefully they can get an A. In fact, there's more than one path to an A. There's more than one way to get it, i.e. you can get it through rocking exams, or you can get it through rocking, I mean, to a point, you could get it through rocking participation. I mean, you can't like fail all the exams but like, you'll see as I start to explain now that it's designed, the grading system's a little bit complicated, a little bit unusual. And even if you don't understand it all today, and even if you don't understand it in the syllabus document that's posted, you can still ask questions and you'll understand it more and more as we go. The idea is that no matter what your talent is, or no matter how you learn or whatever, hopefully if you're invested and engaged and stay with me, you can get to the highest grade possible one way or another. Okay, so what do I mean by that? But that, yeah, I had to say that because that's again why I will call people out for doing the right thing so everybody else can see. Hold on, what chat? Something's in the chat. Something's in the chat. 1 sec. Already done. Awesome. Already done. I don't remember what that's about. Already done. Was that the wait? Sorry, I know I'm like 2 minutes behind, but wait, Emmanuel, could you remind me? Sorry, see, I'm doing it already. Could you remind me what is already done? Oh, great. Oh, okay. Ha, awesome. That's awesome. I'm so psyched. Okay, great. Thank you. And thank you. Got it. Okay. I don't know why that's funny. It's not funny. It's great. Okay. So I'm going to start walking you through the Google Classroom thing now. Again, like you want to be on this list. If you don't understand this is Google Classroom. This is where our class exists. This will also be true. I think this will be true of your lab as well. I mean, I know it will be, and it'll be true for Physics 204 and lab as well. So if you don't see, oh, sorry, if you don't see your name on this list or you don't know what I'm talking about, please either send me a direct chat or text me to that number or email me, because from here on in, it's all about this. So here's a Google Classroom. Now, what it looks like on your side, actually, just raise your electronic hand if you've used Google Classroom ever before, like high school or something like that. Oh, okay. Oh, a lot of people. Oh, a lot of you. All right. Oh, more than 12, 14, 15. Oh, great. All right. So hopefully, I mean, I'm afraid to ask, but you like it's good, right? Like, I mean, it's like more like oh, I love that. Oh, the avatars too. Well, you'll see in a minute. Those of you who are showing avatars, well, I call them out. I don't know. Those of you who are showing anything other than a black box, even if it's not video, you're getting points for that too. You'll see, like that also helps. So I love them, and they can be different every time. But great. Okay, you can put your hands down now. So you've used it. Okay, great, great, great. So here's, of course, I'm going to just walk you through it as my way of sort of walking through the syllabus. Like the actual technical syllabus is in here. You might have noticed it's under tools. You can read that on your own. You have it because it's like a contract document. Like you can refer to it for the details of the grading and stuff, but that's not the curriculum. The curriculum is all here. So we're going to walk through it right now. We're not going to get through everything today. Again, even if the class ends right now, you'll be fine for our next class, which is next Wednesday. Yes, there's homework that I said was due Monday because I totally forgot it was Labor Day. Hello. Those who can't teach. Those who can't manage space and time, teach physics, I guess. Sorry. So there is homework that says it was due Monday. I'll change it. I meant Wednesday. There is homework due Wednesday. Ideally, by the end of this class, we're going to get to some time for me to sort of explain to you how to try to do that homework. But the fast thing I want to say right now, if I don't get to that, is just try. You don't need to read anything in a textbook. You don't need to go on the web. You're allowed to. You're allowed to do whatever you want to do that homework, but you'll see the homework is an introductory set of exercises. It gives you the definitions that you need right in the homework sheet, and then asks you to apply those definitions. So you don't actually need anything else but that sheet to do the homework. And that's generally the way our homeworks are. You don't ever need a textbook for this class. I mean, I can recommend one. We could talk about that, but I mean, we live in I mean, Google is your, I mean, who are we kidding? But we'll talk about that. But the point is certainly for the first homework, you're going to just try it. You're going to try to hand in you're going to show all your work. We'll talk about how to show your work, but you're going to make your best attempt at showing your thought process for for answering all the questions on the first homework that is due our next class. But even if suddenly your Wi-Fi cuts out right now, or if this class ends right now, what I need you to know is, yes, you want to turn that homework in on time. Yes, it doesn't matter if I haven't explained anything about it. You're going to turn it in on time. What you're turning in is a draft. The way we approach all the physics homeworks for 2 semesters is they are drafts. You get a ton of points on them for turning in a thorough, thoughtful, work showing draft on the day that it's due. But even if you don't get all the points that the homework is worth on that day, even if you got some things wrong or something like that, you will have opportunity to revise and re-upload and resubmit for the rest of the points on the homework. Like whether that's because you waited for the class for me to clarify things in the class period, or you ask a question in the class, or you just needed more time or whatever. When you first turn in homework, you're trying to get a majority of the points just for turning in a thoughtful draft on time. You will have almost always opportunities to revise and re-upload until you get all the points. So part of the grading system is that you could always have an opportunity to get all the points on all the homeworks if you keep working at them. For many people, it may turn out to be a time management issue. Like it might get to the point where you've gotten most of the points and now you just need to move on to the next homework because you're falling behind or whatever. Totally understandable. But the point is you want to try the homework. You don't want to be afraid of it, and don't think that whatever you turn in next week is your last opportunity on it. So before I go so that I'm saying all that in case I don't get to say much about the physics today. You're still in a position, both. You still have to do it, but it'll still be okay. You just do your best. Raise your electronic hand if what I just said was clear. Like if you get what I'm saying about homework. Cool. All right. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you all. Awesome. All right. That's 17. That's great. Okay. Great, great. Okay, so now you can put your hands down. And again, if you have a question anytime, you totally can ask it. But all right, great. So I'm going to start walking you through now. And again, hopefully I'll be more. Oh, and your wait. So and Karen. Oh, I didn't even say hello to Karen. Hello, Karen. Awesome. Um, and now you can put your hands down. Or is that Karen or is that Skylar? Some. Okay, awesome, awesome. Okay, and hello, Skylar. I haven't said hello to all of you yet, but we'll get to hellos. All right. So here we are in the Google Classroom, and we have 35 minutes left. Okay. Uh. So there's the Zoom link. It's the same Zoom link. I think I said this in the email, but Mondays and Wednesdays, 12:15, same bat channel. I mean, same Zoom channel, same professor, same deal. Lecture versus recitation, no difference in physics. It's totally a registrar thing. Okay, for good or for bad. Like whatever class feels like to you, most classes, what we're doing is going over solving problems from the homework. That's what we're doing most classes. We're usually going over them after, not before, but it sort of all feels like well, the more you talk, the more it'll feel like a recitation. The more I talk, the more it'll feel like a lecture. But whatever it is, it's the same deal on Mondays and Wednesdays. There's no distinction between the two. So it's always this Zoom link. Okay. And if you ever want to make an appointment with me and you can't come to my physical office hours, because unfortunately I know they're very restrictive, we can do a Zoom thing and it would always be at this link. Okay. So that's the Zoom. YouTube. Okay. For good or for bad, you might have noticed this class is being recorded. Again, you might have mixed opinions on that, but we have found since the moment of COVID, I feel like in physics, students seem to appreciate that we record every single class. We record it, and then the day the class is over, it gets posted to the YouTube channel, to my YouTube channel, which the link is right here. So this class, like and we're not doing like many equations and stuff today, but if you spaced out in the middle, or you were sick, or blah blah blah, or as we get more and more into the material, you can see I kind of talk fast. If you missed something or something was like confusing, the whole class will be posted onto the YouTube channel, so you can like re-scroll. Whatever, you can like watch it again and slow it down and all that kind of stuff. And of course nobody else really watches it besides us. I mean, why would anybody want to? But also you'll see if you go to the YouTube channel that all of the past classes of Physics 203 of every semester since COVID are all there, and Physics 204. So there's, and also the other section, like the section that just met an hour ago. So there's also this thing, since I do talk the way I talk, if ever like you're studying for an exam and I said it one way today and something about a problem, I went over a solution that wasn't that clear, like you could try, like look at how I said it in the other section or something. Maybe I just hit it more clearly for you that time, or someone asked a question that was more helpful to you, blah, 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 blah. Sometimes I will take advantage of the fact that we have these recordings and we have these two sections. Sometimes if we're pressed for time before an exam, I might go over one problem in your section and go over a different problem in the other section, and I'll just tell you both. Now watch both sections, if you see what I'm saying. So it's all there. It's all in playlists. You should, your class and the other class that meets right now, they're both in the same playlist, but you should be aware that it's all there. Okay, I think that's clear. And so they'll be posted. So this class will be like, it takes a while for it to transcribe and decode and all, but it'll be posted by tonight. I'm sure you'll never want to watch this class again because it's not that in, but it'll be posted by tonight. And when I say posted, I'm sorry, I should make clear. It'll be posted to YouTube, but then the link will be posted here in Google Classroom. So everything is fine. As we go, all these things will accumulate here in Google Classroom, all the classes. Okay, then same thing. Under that is class notes. You see I have a whiteboard or a blackboard going right now. I'm not using it because I'm sharing this screen instead. But that blackboard that was up at the beginning that it said, hello, I'm Professor Yaverman, whatever, that's what I use to, solve problems and everything and do all the equations. Once we get rolling, I'll be using it all the time. So I'm doing that in real time while I teach to you on Zoom. I absolutely expect that you're still taking notes nonetheless, just like a regular class, like for 1,000 reasons that you wouldn't have gotten this far in your science careers if you didn't already know, or in your careers as science students. You all know it makes a huge difference to take your own notes. I mean, I hope you know. And it's another way to get points, by the way, is to every now and then show me. We'll talk about that, but you can get, even those of you who are quiet and don't like talking all the time or showing video all the time, I totally get that. But if you take great notes, you might want to show me that fact from time to time because you'll get points for that. So you should be taking your own notes no matter what. But nonetheless, I on the board am taking my notes. So I will upload a PDF every day of the notes that I put on the whiteboard, and they'll all go right here. Okay. Like including and they always get uploaded like the minute class ends because that's easy. All right. So that again, stop me at any time but that's class notes. Now we get to homework. Now, I'm going to go out of order for a moment. Like you'll see, first there's this homework 0 game, the points and participation. That's what I keep talking about when I say that, when I say that like Gabriella and Emanuela are getting points, I'm talking about in this context. And this is the most unusual or piece that requires the most explanation. But so I'm going to talk a lot about it. Before I do, let me skip for a second. Bear with me. I'm going to go down here, see homework 1D kinematics. This looks more like regular physics, right? These are regular homeworks that you would expect in a way. And then it goes to like homework 2D kinematics, homework 3, like these are the physics topics where like this is more like the syllabus. We will do real physics, believe me. All these dates are to give you an idea of the sequence of the homeworks. As you can see, I've already messed up the first date. I'm going to fix it right now. I wrote due December 2nd because I forgot about Labor Day. I'm going to fix that right now so there's no confusion. I don't mean Labor Day. You don't have homework due Labor Day. I mean that it's due a week from today. Oh, and it's not due 12:05, it's due 12:15. Okay, so that's fixed now. That is the first homework. It says homework 1 number line. It is the first homework. Then I know there's something often bad in the copy that comes on your side. I've just noticed there's some garbage that comes up. So if there's text missing, you just look at this next thing right. The part that's missing from the homework is right under it. Some of you will need it depending on like what reader you're using, and some of you won't. But anyway, that's the homework that's due next Wednesday. Now, of course, I have to change the next dates accordingly. Like you don't have more than one homework due next Wednesday. You have that one, I think. But it's not that long at all. So I might even double up. But what I'm saying is, yes, I have to fix the next dates accordingly, but that's always going to be happening anyway. There will be some adjustment on the dates as we go. We'll get through the whole curriculum, and we're going to get through the curriculum in the proper order. But sometimes some classes need more time for something, and sometimes other classes need more time for another thing. So we will be flexible about the dates as we go. Also, what the dates mean is when your first draft is due. So always, and I'll always be clear about this in the class, which is why it's good to come to class. Like whatever the next homework is that's due, that's what's due, and that's what you want to hand a draft in for on time. But if if it takes us a week to go over homework 1 or something, then I might change the dates and give you all an official extension on the next one. That does happen. Even with the exams, which we'll talk about in a second. Well, I'll say this about the exams. You have 2 exams in this class, a midterm and a final. Okay. Of course, they count a lot for your grade. We don't drop either one because there's only 2 of them. I'll talk about the grading more, but yes, you have a midterm and yes, you have a final. You'll notice in the section that says exams down here, I've posted the midterm that they took last semester or last year, last time I taught the course, and the final that they took. I've posted them there so you can see what they look like. You're going to use them as practice exams. There's no hide the ball in this class or anything like that. Your exams will be very, very similar to those. So you'll be able to look at those whenever you want and use them as practice exams. We'll talk about them and like help you with solutions to them. So you'll be able to practice the exam before you actually take it. It won't be a surprise out of left field. And if you open, and you don't need to right now, but if you open those past exams, you'll even see that there's dates in them and instructions and all that. That will give you an idea of when the dates will fall for your exam in this semester, but it's just an idea because we're going to get to know each other first for a week or two, and then we'll finalize those dates based on like when your organic chemistry exam is or what, like we'll make sure that your date is as good as it can be for this group. So everything is a little bit subject to, so nothing is ironclad on today in terms of dates. What is ironclad is sequence, okay? And then so with the homework, again, I apologize, I'm going a little bit out of order, but like with homework number 1, number line, I'm saying again now, yes, it is due. That is the thing that is due September 1st. The first thing is due the first next class. You will try your best and you will turn in an extensive draft. Um, um, and you will hopefully get a lot of points for doing that. Any points you don't get for anything you didn't get right or you did the wrong way or something, you will get to do another draft. You'll get to upload again. So that's also why like the dates are flexible, because what's important about the date is that you're staying on track with drafts. They're not, I think you understand what I'm saying. I want to go back to the participation thing. Are people still with me? I mean, I know I'm getting really, thank you, Gabby. I even saw a face. She even nodded. All right. That's really helpful. Okay. So, as long as I'm already over here in this, I'm going to say one more thing. Like number line. Yeah, I think I can get, okay. Like this thing right here is what's due on Wednesday. Okay. Like here's the sheet, right? It gives these definitions about, you could see it's not meant to be crazy. It's like a warm-up set of exercises. It's about definitions that we need for physics, distance versus displacement. So it defines them all and makes these observations. Then there's this crazy, okay, I don't know. Anyway, it gives you these definitions and as this crazy text, you can then go to the next portal in the assignment thing and you'll see what that text was trying to say. I think that was just a diagram or what all the information you need is right here. So then you're going to try to answer these questions. Okay. There's a lot of them, but I think the first ones you'll find fairly straightforward. They're not trick questions. They are not trick questions. You'll know it when they start feeling tricky, but they're not tricks. If you think the answer is really easy, you're probably right. Okay. Especially at the beginning. So you're going to answer all these questions by Wednesday. You're going to make your best attempt, but how are you going to do it? You're not going to do this. Whatever I'm about to say is true for all homeworks going forward for 2 semesters and all exams and everything. You're not going to print this. You're not going to write the answers into this sheet, and you're not going to type the answers into this sheet. You print out the sheet so you can look at it or whatever. This sheet is like an exam sheet or something like that. You're going to I'm going to go back now. You're going to you're either going to open up a fresh Google Doc, like it gives you an opportunity in these assignment portals. You're either going to hit the plus sign and start a fresh new Google Doc or a new Word doc or something, or even better, on a separate piece of actual real paper with an actual real pencil, you're going to write out your work and your responses to all these questions. Okay. Most of us, including me, would prefer to do this kind of work on an actual piece of paper. It's like much easier to think that way for most of us, not all of us. But yes, me, I would take out fresh blank pieces of unlined paper or of any kind of paper, and I would write out the work to these questions. I would make the questions clear, then I would show my work, then I'd make my answers clear. I'm going to tell you exactly how to do that in a minute. Then I would scan all those papers in or take a bunch of pictures of the papers or whatever And I would make one file out of all those pages, like one file, ideally a PDF or a Google Doc. I make one file after scanning them all in. So I make one file and then I upload that one file to this portal, and that's my homework. Okay. So one thing I am intense about, even if you take a bunch of pictures. So if you have a 12-page homework, I mean, this homework won't be 12 pages, but they get longer and longer. Even if you take pictures, one picture of each page, so now you have like 12 JPEGs, you have to find a way to put together those 12 JPEGs into one file. I mean, I could tell you a way, there's a million ways. If you don't know what I'm talking about, or if you've never done this before, honestly, the most straightforward way is just open up a brand new Google Word doc, like not even in Google Classroom, just like on your computer somehow, open up a new fresh Word doc, and on page one, just insert picture number one. And then on page two, insert picture number two. Do you follow what I'm saying? And then save it. And then at the end, now you have a Word doc that has 12 pages. Then print it as PDF, right? Which really means save it as a PDF. So now it's a PDF, and now you would upload that to this file, to this portal. Now I know that everything I just said, if you did understand what I said, you probably didn't need me to say it. And if you didn't understand, and if you did need me to say it, you didn't understand what I said. I totally get that. So we're actually going to practice this in a minute, sort of. But the bottom line of what I'm saying is the way to do homework is you do it separate sheets, and you upload one file for all those pages. We're going to practice it in a second with the participation homeworks. But if nothing else, if you get nothing else out of today, understand, like, the participation homeworks, which are the easiest way to get the most points in this class, the participation homeworks are kind of like practice, or like, like muscle exercises for the physics homeworks, which are more extensive, possibly harder, possibly worth more points. And those physics homeworks are practice for the exams. And all of these are done the exact same method through Google Classroom. Like, by the time you get to an exam, and they are take home, you're going to upload a huge exam document that's like a blue book. Like, it's just a bunch of pages all put together is one big PDF for Google Docs, and you're going to upload it. So by the time you get to an exam, as long as you've done enough participation homework, it won't be a mystery. There won't be any issues when it's like really high stakes like that. So all of this is the same system, but the system is you upload a separate document for whatever work I'm asking you for. You don't do it on the original document. You treat everything like a blue book. Um, and you always show tons of work. So how do you show tons of work? You show tons of work in a very specific physics method, which you will find here. So, okay, I'm scrolling fast. You see, all this is like the homework stuff. So this does become a regular course. I know today is weird, but this becomes a regular physics course like pretty soon. And then, we have exams eventually, and they all count for your grade. But here's under tools, there's the syllabus, but here's this 5-step method. Now, I'm going to explain this in detail on Wednesday. I'm not explaining it today because I'm going to run out of time. But just so that you know, we have this idea. We have this method where for every single problem you ever solve in physics, on homeworks and exams, you are responsible for showing 5 steps to your thinking. I will talk more about it on Wednesday. It might not make immediate sense right now, but this is when you're doing homework 1 for Wednesday, you're going to try to follow this model. For every single problem you solve, even if you think it's so easy that you can do it in your head, which at first you probably will, many of you, even if you think you could see the answer in your head, it doesn't matter. You're first going to draw a diagram and put down the facts of the problem. Like, you're going to write, like, problem 1, here's a diagram of the situation, here's the facts of the situation, like the x equals 3 and whatever. Then you're going to literally say what the question is in your word. Now, again, I'm already explaining this. I don't mean to get deep into this right now, but you're literally going to do each of these things, a diagram and a fact ground. Then you're going to say what the question is in your words, as sort of summarized as concisely as possible. So you're going to make the facts clear. You're going to make the question clear. Then you're going to write down any general definitions or or equations or whatever that you need, that are always true, that you need to solve the problem, then you're going to start applying those generalizations to the particular facts of the problem. In other words, then you're going to start solving and doing the algebra or in the units and scientific notation, whatever, like the work, computations, and then you'll get to a final answer and you'll circle it. So you want these 5 steps for this is how you show work. This is how you do problems. We're going to get into the nuances of this next week, but this is the model that you follow to do homework 1. And again, I'm saying, I know for many of you, many of the questions on homework 1 are going to seem like you can just get the answer in your head. Fine, that's great. Then you're totally good, but you're still going to break down your thought process by showing these things. You don't have to rewrite the diagram every single time. You can always, if you do the diagram first, then in all the subsequent questions, you can be like, for diagram C above or whatever. That's fine. But you have to acknowledge every one of these steps every time you solve a problem. Again, this is all practice for the exams. We'll talk more about it on Wednesday. And it's how we grade the exams. Like this is a grading rubric. Like you'll see on exams and stuff or on homework, like -2 WIQ. That means I took off 2 points because you didn't make it clear what the question was, and I need to know what the question is. Blah 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 blah. So again, if your Wi-Fi cuts out right now or we leave right now, this is how you're going to try to do homework 1 for next Wednesday. You don't need a textbook. You can look anywhere you want for help. You can help each other too, I should say. You could rock that Discord. You're always allowed to help each other as much as you want. Always. But I don't even think many of you will need to on this first homework. But this is how you do it. Okay, now. Okay, back to so that's like the basics of the class. But now the weird part of the class, I mean the fun part of the whatever, the game. Like the part, how people are getting all these points and stuff. So first of all, every single class is like a turn in the game. Why am I calling it a game? I mean, I'm calling it a game because first of all, hopefully it's a little bit more fun and easy than like straight up physics is. I mean, participation. Hopefully it's a little bit fun. But also, but also because it's all about points accumulation. It's totally a game in the sense that you're just trying to rack up as many points as you can. Um, um, and win the game that way, although you're not trying to beat anybody else. And so some of the ways we play this are modeled after certain games. I'll tell you about that in a minute. But it is serious. The other reason we call it a game, sorry, is that everything I'm about to explain to you right now is all for points that will go on your average and can make a huge difference in your grade. Like all this stuff can literally make the difference between a B- and an A or something like that. Like it literally, or can make the difference between failing and passing, like literally. But it's all optional too. Like everything I'm about to explain, if you never ever did any of it, you would never be punished. It's just that then your entire grade would rely entirely on how you do on exams. So that's risky. I mean, so if you literally got 60s on both exams, then that would be a problem. So in that sense, it's a game in that it's not required. But most people, I mean, you'd be crazy not to do anyway. So every day is a turn in the game. Every day is a turn in the game. So today is game 1, turn 1. Every day I will post the turn of the day. It's always look exactly the same. Every turn, like turn 1, turn 2, all exactly the same. They're all worth 5 points. And they all have instructions that look exactly like this. And it says, please submit a document, not merely a comment, i.e. upload, attach a file. You're going to attach a file and you're going to do it in 2 seconds from now. Please submit a document with at least one remark or question or comment that you contributed to today's discussion. Your contribution might have been made from voice, might be public chat, might be direct chat, might be screen share, etc. So you're going to mention one thing that you did today to participate. Just one thing. It's going to take you like 10 seconds to do. You're going to do it by midnight tonight or midnight of whatever day it is, right? And the only 2 requirements, like one, you have to do it by midnight to get all the points. If you do it like the next day, you'll get like 3 out of 5 of the points. And if you wait 2 days, then it's pointless. Forget it. But the other thing is, you're not just going to write a comment into the assignment portal. You're literally going to attach a file, even though the file is only going to have like one sentence on it. So we're going to do this right now for today. Any single one of you, now, some of you have participated in many, many ways today. We'll get to that in a minute. But first and foremost, we're just talking about any one way. So any one of you, so for example, if you showed video today, you're going to write down like I showed video, or if you said hello, or if you used your voice, and you're going to be as specific as possible, but still as quick as possible. So say something like, I made the comment that I put in the chat that we don't have class on Labor Day, or something like that. Or when I raised my electronic hand when the professor said, has everybody used Google Classroom in high school? Like, be specific, but just write down one sentence. So right now I'm asking you, if you've participated at all today, right now, hit the plus sign on your side on the assignment portal of this. Like open up a fresh Google Doc or a fresh Word file or whatever choices it gives you, whatever you like. Write down like one sentence now saying, I raised my electronic hand when you, professor, said blah, 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 and enter and like submit it right now. I'm going to watch the numbers right, and I'm going to get it back to you right now. So if nothing else, with all my yammering today and blah, 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 if nothing else, when we walk away today, we will have proven to each other that you know how to submit work to me and I know how to give points to you. Like, we should all walk away from this class today with the satisfaction of 5 points. So we know we're off and running. And I'm telling you also right now, however you do this, right, as long as I give you the full 5 points, as long as I say check, you're good, you'll know, yes, this is the way that you submit homework and ultimately exams, is that you like a separate file, one file with all the pages. Here, this will be a 1-page file, presumably, but okay, so you're going to do it right now. If you came to the class late, or you haven't said anything in the class yet today or anything, literally just write hello, prof, in the chat, and then that counts. And you're going to see when we start class from here on in, as soon as I come on, I'm going to be like, hello, everybody. Hey, what's up? You do that too. Say hello right away. It makes it a better class. Say hello in the chat right away. And then that, for some of you, that will be your participation for the day. And that is fine. But there's more other things. Like, I know a lot of people have already done a lot of things that they get a lot of credit for. But first we're doing this. So right now, because I know we have 9 minutes left, I'd like to see everybody right now submit one sentence properly to this where it says like I said hello or whatever. Good. 3 people so far. And I'm going to give them back to you right now. So we're going to be quiet for a second and do this. Um, and if there's any issues, like if you do it and you don't get it back, you're going to send me a text or an email saying, wait, something's confusing to me or something not working. But we're basically making sure that we're on the same Google Classroom page, like right now. Okay. I'm gonna turn off the screen so I can I can respond to you right now and you won't see. So I'm turning off the share. I think. No, I think, yeah. Let me see. Oh, no, I can delete the chair. And I know we have 7 minutes, but I won't keep you late. But I'll also say the way I always end class, like I will be the last person to leave the Zoom room. So like when it's time and I say goodbye, goodbye, because I know you have a lot of things to do. When it's time, I'll say like goodbye, goodbye, and then ideally you say goodbye in the chat or something just to be a human being. But then you leave. But I will stay there until everybody's left. So if you have a question or something, even if I'm in a big rush, if you just stay, at worst, we'll be like, oh, let's make an appointment with each other right now or so. Okay, so I won't, unless I tell you in advance I have an emergency, I will stay there until everybody's left. Okay. So All right, yeah, I'm gonna have to stop the share. I'm trying to do it on my pad, but it's not working. Okay, so bear with me for a second. I am watching the clock, I promise. And these comments will be very. Yeah, um, I know we're about to run out of time. I think, but bear with me for a second. I think, all right. Any one of you, if you turned it in at all, every one of you should check. You should have gotten 5 points if you turned it in. And most of you should have gotten some kind of super quick comment on it. Maybe occasionally a couple of them I might have messed up on the comment because I tried to do it really fast. But you should at least, but if you did it at all and you did it on a separate document as asked, then you should have gotten 5 points right now. Let me turn off the screen. I know we're about to run out of time. Oh, wait. Oh. Okay. Oh, and I see there's a question that right now for Wednesday, don't do homeworks 1 through 3. Not 3. I have to adjust the dates because I'd forgotten about Labor Day. Do homework 1, and if you don't have a hard time with it, go on to homework 2. But don't do 3. And all I'm looking for on Wednesday is homework 1. Really, all that's due Wednesday is homework 1. I mean, I apologize. I'll change the dates, but I'd forgotten about Labor Day. So it's really homework 1 that's due. Now, the other quick thing, I know we have 1 more minute. What I didn't explain is like all if you look in the Google Classroom, there's all these other participation things. that are worth a lot more points than 5, and they're all due December 4th. I'll explain them more on Wednesday, but what they are ongoing portals that you can use at any time and you can reuse and reuse. So for example, I know we have 1 minute left. One of them was like video. Those of you who are showing video today, you just open up that video portal and just write in a quick document, say, I used video today, and show a screenshot ideally, but even if you don't, just say, I used video today, like August 20th, whatever, submit it, and I'll give you points for that. And then the next day you show video again, you can attach a new file to the same portal. So all of those are, and same thing with if you used your voice today. So they all have funky, silly titles. So you have to like read the directions for each one of them. But when you get a chance, it's whenever you get a chance, any way that you participate, including taking good notes and showing me the notes. I'll talk about it more on Wednesday, but all those other portals that have a lot more points associated, you use them at any time and you reuse them and reuse them for any different ways that you participated. So some of you can like quadruple dip from today. Again, I'll explain it more next week, but that's what, but they're due December 4th because you use them at any time throughout the semester. So, and finally, again, since I know it's 1:30 now, just so you know, the basic thing of grading, I'll say this more next week. The basic thing is your exams and your lab final, your lab average get averaged together in the normal way. So like 2 exams in a lab, they get averaged together the normal way. And then all of the points that you accumulate from all of the homework and all of these participation portals, all those points all get added together and then divided by a number like 20 or something. I'll tell you more about that. So if you have 200 points, it gets at the end of the semester, it gets divided by 20 so that whatever the number is, it's divided is the same for all students. So if all students get divided by 20, then you'll have 10 full participation points or whatever, that gets added straight onto your exam average. So it literally, and that's a typical number. So people can literally add like 10 points or 12 or something to their exam average and change their grade by like, a substantial amount. So that's where it's all going. That's why it matters. But that's a lot. I know it's 1:31. I apologize. So I'll stick around, but very nice to meet you all. We'll talk more on Wednesday. Oh, Manuela, sorry, if you have a question, you hang out for 1 second. I'll let the rest of them go. And if you, but I'm here. But anybody has a question, hang out for a second. But other than that, or email me or text me, and I'll see you next week and have a good weekend. But yes, homework 1, just homework 1. Okay, so goodbye. And I'm going to turn off the recording to answer any questions anybody has. So hang on one